Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're changing the rear diff fluid on my 2023 1000 XMR. Stick around. Alright guys, so I've got everything laid out here that I'm going to need. The only tools that you require is going to be a 5 and a 6 millimeter Allen key. You may want a socket attachment for those if you have them, just to help break the drain plug and the fill plug free. Otherwise, 5 and a 6 millimeters is all you need. And then the oil. So the oil I'm going to be using, I use AMSOIL for all the fluids on my machines. So I'm going to be using their Severe Gear 75W140 is what it calls for. From Can-Am. So I'm going to be using that oil. I also have a pump attachment that attaches to the top of the bottle here. It just makes it a lot easier to actually get the oil into the fill plug or the fill hole. If you didn't have a pump like this, then you know, a funnel or something along those lines could work. This just makes it a lot easier, especially if you are going to be doing a lot of your own maintenance for all your different oils that you're going to be using. If you do your gearbox and front and rear diffs, then this will make a huge difference in making it a lot easier for you. So just let me get the camera set up underneath the machine and then we'll get at it. Alright guys, so we're at the rear diff here. We're looking at the left side. When you're looking for your drain and fill plugs, down on the bottom here, right beside your frame, there's a black Allen screw right there on the side of the diff. That's your drain plug. And then right up here, this brass screw here is your fill plug. Right above that is your specs for your oil. So it actually says right on the diff 75W140 and 250 milliliters. So that's where the pump with the oil bottle is going to come in very handy in being able to keep track of how much oil that we're putting in there. So what I've done so far is I've used compressed air to try and get down in the bottom here on the top of the frame. There's a plate on the bottom, but there's a lot of dirt and stuff that was sitting on there. So I used some compressed air, some brake cleaner in here just to try and clean all that out. Because once we open up that drain plug, the oil is going to drain down. It's going to land on this the bottom sort of skid plate here, or just frame piece in between your two frame rails. And there's an opening at the back. So ideally we want that to drain out the back. If your machine is slanted forward, then it's going to go forward a bit. This plate on the bottom here is only about 6 inches long. So if you have your oil pan at the bottom here, hopefully it'll catch front or back depending which way it's going to go. So for right now, I'm going to break those free. So I'll break the drain plug free first. I'm going to use the socket for that just to get in there with the extension. And just be careful not to strip it. Alright, so that comes out pretty easily. It is a bit of an angle when you're using your sockets, so I'm just going to get it out that far, and then I'm going to go at it with the Allen keys. For the for the fill plug here, I'm just going to use an Allen key to get it in there, just because it is a tight fit for a socket to get in there. Alright guys, that was on way tighter than it should have been, I think. It's only supposed to be torqued onto about 22 inch-pounds. That was really stuck on there, so just be careful when you're doing that. So I just used the Allen key itself to get in there, the Allen wrench. So now what I'm going to do is, now that that's loosened off, I'm going to loosen out the drain plug and just let the oil drain. Now, there's no crush washer or anything with this one, so just be careful as you pull it out. So it is a little bit milky, and it is draining out the back here, so that's good. And we'll just let that drain for a few minutes. I'm going to take out the fill plug here while that's draining. And this one does have a crush washer on it, so just be careful as you're taking this out that you don't lose that washer. There we go, so you can hopefully see on there. I've got the crush washer there and the fill plug. So I'm just going to sit and let this continue to drain, and then I'll come back when it's once it's fully drained. All right, guys, so it's finished draining here. You can see the oil that's come out. It is a little bit milky there, and you can see some metal fleck in it, so I'm glad I've changed it when I am. I've only got about 30 hours on this machine, but we do ride a lot of water, and it is submerged a fair bit, so I wanted to get this done now and get some fresh oil in it. So I've also installed, I'll just get the camera set back up here. I've also reinstalled the drain plug there. And I'll torque that at the end back to 24 inch-pounds is what the Can-Am calls for. And then I will start putting the oil in now. So what I'm going to do on the side of the AMSOIL bottle here, I'm not sure if you can see that, but right now it's showing that I have about 750 mils in the bottle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump it until oil gets to the end of the hose here, the end of the tube. And once it's at that point, I'm then gonna look and see what my level's at. And then from there, I will pump 250 down from that. That way I know I've actually got 250 that's actually gone into the differential here. So this is gonna be straightforward. I'm just gonna feed the tube into the differential. I'm gonna start pumping it, but I'm just gonna go slowly until I get oil to the end there. And then I'll keep an eye at my level. So the oil is just coming up to the top there. So right about there, I'm going to mark my level, and right now it's just above 700, just below 750. So I'm going to go just below 500 mils to get my 250. So I'm just going to stick the tube right into the diff there, and then I'll start pumping until my oil bottle is just below 500. So right there, I'm right at 500, so I should just need to go a few more pumps, and then that should be right at the 250. Right about there, and then you'll see now as I take the tube out that it's just starting to come out the bottom of that fill hole. So a lot of people will say you just need to pump oil in until it comes out, just starts to come out the bottom threads of that fill hole, and then just let it drip for a minute and just make sure that any excess is out. But this is just a fail-safe way, so you can see I measured in right at 250, and that's where it just started to come out the fill hole. So either way of measuring seems to be okay. So at this point, I'm just gonna put on the fill screw, and that'll be it. So hang around for that. All right, so just before I put the fill plug back in, I've cleaned up around the hole there just to make sure there's no debris. Make sure your crush washer is on your fill plug there, and just being very careful not to cross thread it as you put it in, and we'll just screw it back in. And I will torque this down afterwards. The fill plug is going to go to 22 inch-pounds, and your drain plug is going to go to 24. So that's in snug now. Snug that up. And as I said, I'll torque it after. So that's all there is to it, guys. It's really simple to do. Definitely something you can do yourself to help save some money and just start doing some preventative maintenance and routine maintenance on your machine. The only thing you may not have out of the tools that I used is the pump for the oil bottle. It makes it a whole lot easier having that. So I'll leave a link to that, an Amazon link to that if you're interested in picking one up. Otherwise, hopefully you found the video helpful. If you did, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.